please, and if you remain standing for a moment of silence at the end. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we ask you to bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding, so that in fulfilling their public trust, every deliberation will result in actions that will promote the common good and general welfare for all the people of Morris Plains. Amen.
Amen.
If you could just remain standing for a moment of silence for Dale Quinn, who was a 30-year employee of the borough as a crossing guard. Thank you. Notice to members of the governing body and borough staff, any use of electronic devices during this meeting shall be used solely for the purpose of borough business. We do have a mayor's appointments. I hereby appoint the following alternates to the office stated, which is the Board of Health, and for the term specified, Sean Keck Mulligan, alternate 1, 2 years. Kelly Borough, alternate 2, 2 years. Approval of minutes.
I move that the minutes of the conference executive and regular session from June 20, 2024 be approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain. Do you have to vote?
Opposed? And abstained.
Abstain.
Nancy abstained.
I move that reports for 2024 in June for the following be approved. Building inspector, the grant writer, sanitarian, police department, municipal court, animal control, borough clerk, animal licensing, fire prevention, tax collector, and treasurer. That resolution 2024-112 entitled Annual Audit Corrective Action Plan, resolution 2024-113 entitled Borough of Morris Plains Approval to Submit a Grant Application and Execute a Grant Contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the Improvements to Northview Drive Project, resolution 2024-114 entitled Borough of Morris Plains Approval to Submit a Grant Application and Execute a Grant Contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the Improvements to Grandis Avenue Project. Resolution 2024-115 entitled Redemption Resolution Block Number 39, Lot Number 28, Redeem Third Party Tax Lien. Resolution 2024-116 entitled PL 1994, Chapter 72, State of New Jersey. Resolution 2024-117 entitled Borough of Morris Plains Resolution of Support to submit a grant application to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation to obtain a Lucas 3 automated compression device costing approximately $20,015. Resolution 2024-118 entitled Resolution Authorizing the 2024 Morris County Trail Construction Grant Application. Resolution 2024-119 entitled Borough of Morris Plains Municipal Alliance Supplemental Funding. The Borough Treasurer be authorized to advertise for the receipt of bids for improvements to Glenbrook Road, NJDOT Grant, contract number 2023.01, in the August 1, 2024 edition of the official Borough newspaper, with bids to be received on August 28, 2024 at 10 a.m. Council Chambers, Borough Hall. The AAA New Jersey Division of Highway Safety Grant awarded to the Morris Plains Police Department in the amount of $1,120 for pedestrian safety enforcement be accepted. The resignation of Jared Hopping, laborer DPW, be accepted effective June 28, 2024. The highlighted community park employees attached be hired for the pool season at the position, salary, and date stated for the 2024 season. The resignation of Lorenzo Lagalante, crossing guard, be accepted effective June 24, 2024. Stephanie Osborne, 38 Washington Avenue, Morris Plains, be hired as a full-time crossing guard for the police department at a daily rate of $69.62, effective September 5th, 2024. The Morris Plains Fire Association be granted permission to serve alcoholic beverages at their annual family picnic to be held Saturday, August 24th, 2024, with a rain date of Sunday, August 25th, 2024, from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Community Park Pool. The Knights of Columbus Council 3495 be granted permission to serve alcoholic beverages at their annual family picnic to be held Tuesday, August 27th, 2024, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Community Park Pavilion. Having received quotes to repave the alleyway at 666-668 Speedwell Avenue from the following: Wright Brothers Paving, Inc., $4,500, Harrington and Sons, $4,615, Alaco Brothers Paving, no quote, that a purchase order be issued to Wright Brothers Paving, P.O. Box 106, Morris Plains, New Jersey, in the amount of $4,500. The Borough Treasurer is authorized to solicit public bids for solid waste collection, transportation, and disposal services, and collection and transportation services for yard waste and metal appliances. Legal notice to be placed in the Morris Newsbee and the Star Ledger on July 25th, 2024, and bids to be accepted on September 25th, 2024 at 10:30 a.m. in council chambers. That the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized to solicit applications for employment for the position of, part-time custodian building maintenance for the Borough Building and Annex.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Art, roll call please.
Ms. Verga,
Yes.
Mr. Bruhn,
Yes.
Mr. Cortese.
Yes.
Ms. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Wagner.
Yes.
This time I'd like to invite any members of the public who wish to speak to step up, state your name and address, and your compliment.
I just have a question. I want to say something about the tree ordinance. Is now the right time, or should I wait until the ordinance is discussed?
No, when the ordinance comes up for discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Seeing nobody, we move on to reports of committees and or department heads. Finance, Mr. Wagner.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple things, got some good news out of our finance office this week. Apparently, our property tax payments over the next 12 months will be less than our property taxes over the previous 12 months, so, hoorah, yeah, that's great. And this is as a result of our municipal tax, which benefited from increases in our ratables and a favorable school tax, so that's some really good news for us. And just something I want to just give a shout out to our webmaster, who continually, works with the clerk's office and engages with them and looks at our systems and our functions of that office and tries to build a better mousetrap. She suggested this software called Gravity Flow, and what's that's going to do is facilitate our background checks. As you can imagine, background checks are, as for vendors and individuals, are so important. Now, the software will help to move towards digitizing the background check process, as opposed to a lot of paper in folders and file cabinets, which needs to be upgraded. Discussions continue between our webmaster, Roseanne, our borough clerk, and our chief of police. There's a couple minor kinks to work out in terms of confidentiality and those types of personal information. But I think in terms of bang for our buck, we're moving in the right direction in terms of our background check. So that's it. This was kind of a carryover initiative from when Nancy was the liaison. And anything else to add? Because I know you had a lot of
The only thing
a lot
is that
to do.
she's doing this particular function as a contractor and not as our webmaster, because her webmaster role is
Contractor, right, through
specifically
Agile websites,
related to the
correct,
website.
correct.
So this would be under Agile website,
Correct.
which is a contract role that she does for us, where it's process improvements and implementing software,
Correct.
et cetera, so.
Thank you.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Just getting back to the tax increases, it's pretty remarkable coming out of COVID and all the struggles and challenges that the borough's had, moving forward and out of COVID, that we're in this financial position. The borough is financially strong. We have businesses coming into the borough. We have businesses filling up empty spots. We do have new residents in here. That's a big part of it, but it all brings revenue in, and it does help with the tax base. Unlike the state, whose tax rate keeps going up, people do say that the best government is local government, and we we know how to manage things probably better than the state does, and just this lower tax rate and payment that you're paying, keeping all the services the way that they are, the rec programs, our police with all the equipment, our fire department with all the equipment and everything that they need to keep all of us safe and keep them safe is truly a remarkable accomplishment. Kudos to everybody involved here in that process of the budget, so thank you.
And tax statements will go out at the end of next week. So everyone, residents will be able to see actual breakdown. I mean, I could talk more about those numbers and ratios at the August 15th meeting, but I think everyone will be pretty pleased.
Good. Public safety, Mr. Cortese.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I just want to actually thank the fire department and the police department. We've had crazy heat in Marsh Plains along the whole East Coast, I guess, and heat, rain, shine, those guys would either construction work for the police department, fire calls for the fire department. While we were in our conditioning room, those guys were out there and sweating bullets. I just want to say thank you for stepping it up, number one. My committee also met with, we had a monthly meeting with the fire prevention officer, and it went very, very well. Just so you guys also got a report from him, I hope you guys had the chance to look it over. If you have any questions, Chris told me about it, but he did 110 inspections. We also went over everything that was outstanding. There was, a lot of really old stuff that's in there that we're gonna have to be worked out with the Department of Community Affairs, and we're working on that too, to see what, the mayor actually contacted the senators to see if they could do some kind of legislation with the old stuff where the tenants and the owners have changed, but the charge is still there, and it's a little messy, but we have a good handle on it, and we're gonna do our best to solve everything, clear everything up. Not easily though. We have Lieutenant McKay here, and Mark Bell, third engineer. Did I say it right?
What's that?
Third police chief.
Chief.
Assistant chief.
Chief
Okay.
3.
Who wants to go first?
Ryan, why don't you go?
Just to highlight some of our June stats, between calls for service, self-generated, and people contacting us, we had 3,019 calls. Of those, we had about 86 dismounted foot patrols and checked in various locations throughout town. 61 medicals.
Thank you.
61 medical calls, motor vehicle crashes that resulted in no injuries, we had 27. We had 4 that resulted in injury. 17 community policing events that our officers stepped out at, and just a little over 466 motor vehicle stops. As far as some things to highlight, tomorrow, as most of the Borough Council knows, we have the Tri-Marsh Junior Police Academy graduation. That's 12:30 at the Police Academy. Officer Ferris has done a phenomenal job with that program. This was her first year basically running the whole thing with the assistance of Morris Township and Morristown. We also have, I'm sure the chief mentioned it, August 6th is National Night Out at the Community Center. And also August 13th will be our Kona Ice that we've been doing for several years now. And that's what I got.
Super, thank you. Public Works, Mr. Bruhn.
Wait, she put,
Oh, I'm sorry.
You want our report?
I would love
You
to
better
hear your
believe it.
report. You just blended in back there, Mark. I missed you.
Mark Bellis, Second Assistant Chief, also known as Chief 3. To date, we've had 191 calls. Since the last council meeting, June 20th, we've had 34 calls, 2 of them being mutual aid assistance for actual fires, residential structure fire in New Vernon, commercial fire in Cedar Knolls with the contents of the building. July 8th, we conducted a training drill, 21 members in attendance. It was a very hot night, so what we did was a pumping and water flow drill, so it kept us a little cool. We also did reviewing of the operating the bucket on the ladder truck. We also did the fireworks standby on June 29th. And I'm happy to report that our 2 firefighters that went to firefighter 1 finished class Friday. They've gotten their written results. One of them came out second highest grade of 92. The other was an 82. They're just waiting on their hazmat scores, and then they'll be fully certified.
Those are 2 juniors?
No,
Oh.
no, those regular members. We just had Monday, we just had the 2 juniors, 16-year-olds start the junior fire academy. So they're on day 4 today.
Bet you they're loving it.
A lot of it's classroom at the beginning, so they were nice and cool.
Good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Chief 3, thank you. Moving on, Public Works, Art.
And just to add to the report, I think the ladder went over to the summer camp today.
Yes.
Oh, I was unaware.
They sprayed, water like out of the top.
Yes, they did.
Kids were, well, a couple of our junior members are camp counselors, so one of them sent a picture to me that they were over there.
Yeah.
So the
That's
kids were
always
having
the
fun.
best
Yeah.
day. That's amazing.
That's good. So beautification, you mentioned the heat, Sal. I see our ladies going around with 1-gallon jugs of water in buckets, or flower pot planters, I guess. Our TPW's helped out, and it's amazing that, one thing that really grows in the drought are weeds. So they do a great job pulling crabgrass and whatever else grows. So I want to thank them for keeping our town, keeping it look as beautiful as possible in this difficult weather conditions. DPW, same with the police and fire guys. They're out there every day in the heat, and they're working on our town vehicles, picking up the garbage in the parks. Whatever grass has grown, because it's very slow with the lack of rain, they're keeping up with the properties, repaired and cleaned some basins in town, ordered flowers, spread some wood chips along Whatnot Park, put the flags up and down for the July 4th celebration. They swept the town streets, which we appreciate. They do brush pickups. There was some trees and branches from the few thunderstorms that we did get that the mayor mentioned earlier tonight. So they also installed some playground safety mulch at the pool. There was a sinkhole on Glenbrook, so they're quite busy, so we appreciate all their work, and that's all I have there.
Very good. Bill Ryden, our engineer, is with us tonight as well. Bill?
Thank you, Mayor. An update on the Capitol Road project. The contractor's making good progress. Right now, the work on Cedar Avenue, Laurel Street, Sun Valley Way, and Whitecroft the preparatory work is complete. That's the curbing, the catch basin work, all that before the milling and paving. He's now moving into Allen, Leland, Hillside Court, and Jack Way. They expect that work to take another 10 days or so, and then they'll move into milling and paving on all the roads. So we're looking at mid-August to 3rd week in August for completion of the project. So making good progress, and no problems to do.
Good. Glad to hear it.
That's what I have.
Thank you, Bill. Public Buildings and Grounds, Ms. Goddard is not with us tonight. We have.
3 things from her, quick things.
Goddard.
She had shared farmers market news. Saturday, August 3rd is National Watermelon Day, and we're going to celebrate. There will be a watermelon carving contest. News about the timing, rules, and a special guest judge will be announced next week, so start thinking about your designs. Didn't know this was a thing. Have you seen this? Lawrence Plains Summer Recreation Theater Camp performances will be held on Thursday, July 25th, and Friday the 26th at 7 p.m. at the Community Center. $5 at the door, and the performance will be Dear Edwina Jr. Downtown Morris Plains, she's the liaison for that group, they are having their first business roundtable at the Community Center from 8 to 10 a.m. on Tuesday, September 17th, and they have invited all local business owners and operators to attend. The objective is to create a forum for them to connect and collaborate. They will also be offered a private tour of the museum.
Public Health, Sanitation, and Sewers, Nancy.
Okay. The Board of Health met on July 10th, and they reported that they had done 11 blood pressure screenings during the month of June. And let's see what else. They had held a food handlers class for retail food establishments with 33 participants. They had a successful family health day at the community center with lead testing, skin cancer prevention education, materials, and other health screenings. They have reported one case of pertussis, which is whooping cough, and they wanted to share that the revaccination is recommended by the CDC for adults every 10 years. The state health department has issued a new rule for testing. Whenever they're testing an animal for rabies, they will also be testing for avian flu. And they've announced a new communicable disease in New Jersey that's been seen called feline tularemia, which affects the liver of the animals and can be transmitted to humans through ticks, contaminated water, and also cat bites and scratches. I met with the Board of Health, the mayor, county health department, and animal control to discuss some clarification around their suggested changes for the Board of Health to the cat ordinance. So we're working on revising that. It's continuing to work on revising that, and want to make sure we include all stakeholders in the feedback. Animal control is doing welfare checks for a roaming cats report on Winding Way, and they've been busy this month investigating injured baby birds, a snapping turtle, a possum, and a mom with kittens. Municipal Alliance had no meetings in July and August. Teen Center, we've been interviewing candidates for Teen Center jobs. We're interviewing for both the coordinator and the supervisor position, and that's ongoing. The Teen Center board had its first meeting of the new board on July 9th with the full board, and we're happy to thank the new members who have stepped up. We still have our interim Teen Center coordinator, Jake Cahill, who's a town employee. We have the board chairman, Ernie Marconi, Brittany Daniels, our treasurer. New members include Vanessa Waxman, our secretary, Tara Kaiser, who's the registration coordinator, Jean Lloyd, our facilities coordinator, Lisa Lombardi, our chaperone co-chair, and Dory Nazarian, a chaperone co-chair. So our town is run by volunteers, and we are very grateful for those who step up to help with things like that. You'll see on the agenda that we have our Sanitation and Sewers Committee put together an RFP for trash collection, which I mentioned in the conference session, that we're looking for to try to get some competitive bids on, and we're offering to collect bids on 2 different methods of collection this year. In addition to the rear load that we typically do now, we're also looking for bids on an automated load pickup without changing the frequency of service at this time. Clean Communities 2023 report was submitted this week. The borough spent $16,803 on community cleanups using this grant money and reserves from the grant in prior years. The new coordinator is getting up to speed on this process, and payments are going out to the volunteer groups now for the cleanups that they've participated in since last October.
Okay, thank you. Ordinances and public utilities, Kathy.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. To top along the lines of Lieutenant McKay's report, Morris Police Academy takes place up at the Police Academy, and it's a program for children who are from 7th through 12th grade for a 2-week program. And I have to thank Anne-Marie Ferris for, when I asked if I could come up and visit while they were working, while the students were working, she allowed me to and talked to me a lot about what goes on. I know that she's been in charge of organizing the program this year and has done a spectacular job. I asked her if she'd come to my classroom when I substitute and get those kids in shape, because the kids at the Tri-County Police Academy are doing a spectacular job all the way around. And there is the graduation, as you mentioned, thank you, tomorrow at 12:30 at the Police Academy. If you have a chance to go, you and another person are welcome to go along. The Recreation Commission held their annual Senior Citizens Luncheon. Delicious hot dogs, hamburgers, homemade salads, very terrific, and also dessert. And the seniors were lucky to have a preview of the play that's being shown, as Nancy said, on Thursday, July 25th and 26th at 7 p.m. $5 at the door. The cast, all of these children, got up on the stage and sang 3 songs from the play. That they were just fantastic. Also, there were 3 women who were presented with flowers for being honored with the Volunteer of the Year for all they do for others. And it was very touching. They know other people, our age, my age, their age, need help getting around. Some don't drive and they need to be driven places. And these Volunteers of the Year do that all year long. So that was a really special part of the event. Then Els and Sophia's Silver Award project. The Girl Scouts that have been here to explain to the mayor and council what they're trying to do to build a 9-square game at Simon's Park. And from July to December now, they're trying to raise funds. From December to March, they're gonna buy supplies, and next year, from March to June, they will be building the 9-square over at the park. The girls were selling their handcrafted bracelets on Saturday, June 13th at the, at the farmer's market. And they are going to have another sale on August 31st, so I'd like to ask everybody to try and attend that. They made some really nice bracelets. Here's one. They're really cool, and they made them. That's part of their job, to get this award. There was a blood bank held at the VFW on Friday, July 12th, because the community center could not be used due to the camp being held there. Our representative is Robert A. Flynn from JCP&L, and he wants everybody to be reminded that when using generators during power outages, please pay attention to these things. The proper generator selected and installed by a qualified electrician. Make certain power coming from the home should always be disconnected, because if not, the power from the generator could be sent back to the utility lines, creating a hazardous situation for utility workers. Oh, that's all I have. I thought I had another page, sorry.
Very good, thank you. I just do also want to recognize Officer Ferris. She did receive the Police Shield Award. The other night we were at an award ceremony. Bob Gill and some of the other officers, Kathy, myself, along with her family and friends, but it was presented to her by the Knights of Columbus, so that's a well-deserved award for everything that she does do here in the borough, from the kids lead all the way up to the seniors, being a liaison there. So again, thank you for everything she does, and congratulations to her. We have no presentations of communications or petitions. Number 13, introduction of ordinances. We were going to table that. We have ordinances on second reading.
Mayor, before we go into ordinance on second reading here, for purposes of the record, I'm gonna place on the record that I was recently advised vis-a-vis this ordinance on trees here, that there's a couple issues with the ordinance as written, some of which appear in the definition section. There's an issue with street trees, and we were given some advice in that regard too from the Department of Environmental Protection. So accordingly, what I think would be wise here in light of this is I'm gonna suggest to this council here this evening that we strike down this ordinance and we vote to reject it. And then what we are going to do is we are going to amend the ordinance accordingly, and at a future date we will introduce the new ordinance with some of the suggestions from Shade Tree here in town as well as the DEP.
Okay, read the ordinance, Kelly.
So you just want me to read the one about the
Second.
privately owned salt?
No, trees.
Trees.
5-2024.
Yeah, okay. I, Councilmember Kelly, read by title, the ordinance entitled Ordinance Number 5-2024. An ordinance of the Borough of Morris Plains, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 23A, Trees of the Code of the Borough of Morris Plains, which ordinance was introduced and passed on the first reading at a meeting held on June 20th, 2024.
I announce that the meeting is open for a public hearing. Any members want to hear? See no one, I close the public hearing. Go ahead. Please see it.
My name's Rob McKay, I was at 2 Maple Ave. I'm also the vice chair of the Shade Tree Commission.
Think?
I think. I can never remember my exact title. So maybe some of this is moot and I don't want to waste the council's time, but I just wanted to weigh in about this tree ordinance briefly, which is to say that I'll speak as a member of Shade Tree, if not for Shade Tree, to say that we were surprised when we read it that it seem to be in conflict with the current ordinance that's on the books, which says that no tree can be cut down without the permission of shade tree. This ordinance seems to allow for the removal of any street tree that is less than 2.5 inches. As many of you know, we work quite hard to find money in our funding to plant trees. I went with a tape measure. I've been out there with Art knocking on people's doors. I've been out there with Joan. I went out there with a tape measure to one of these new trees. It's less than 2.5 inches. So theoretically, under language of this ordinance, someone could remove the trees that we just planted. There's several other issues which I could go through, but I just encourage everyone to vote against passing this ordinance tonight. I think that there's issues with the language of the ordinance, the way that it's written. And I also think there would be a net loss of revenue to the borough, because right now in shade tree, it costs us $400 to plant a new tree. The penalty or the amount that goes into the tree fund here is $250. Not only does that not seem to be a deterrent, but it also seems like it's less than the cost of the borough to do that. So I just think that perhaps because we're so close to the deadline, this was pushed through, and I would encourage people to just hold on it. I spent 3 hours this morning to prepare for this, watching the Department of Environmental Protection and the New Jersey Shade Tree Federation's videos about this ordinance. And one of the things they made very clear in there is that this ordinance is supposed to be flexible and customizable to the municipality. And they also said that they understand that this process could be complicated, and while there is a deadline, they're willing to work with the municipality on that. And there's a case counselor or case liaison for each municipality for this ordinance. So I'm happy to answer any questions. I have a lot more I could say because I really dug deep into this, but I don't want to waste time if it's going to be tabled and whatever. I think that the other members of the Shade Tree Committee would like to have the ability to give some recommendations for the part of this, or for specifically the street trees as well. So I think I can say that for them. So, are there questions for me?
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your input. Yeah,
Sure.
thanks,
Thank you very much.
Thanks for doing that.
Seeing anybody else? Seeing nobody, I close the public hearing.
I, Councilmember Cowley, state that the above ordinance as read by title on second reading at this meeting be adopted and finally passed.
What, you tabled it.
You gotta vote no.
But you still have to vote no for it.
Oh,
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dennis. Roll call, please.
Ms. Verga,
no.
Mr. Bruhn,
No.
Mr. Cortese,
No.
Ms. Kelly,
No.
and Mr. Wagner.
No.
Thank you.
This ordinance was
Thank you.
not passed. It's defeated. We have no resolutions, we have no unfinished business, no new business, we do have vouchers, Mr. Wagner.
Okay, your voucher report. Checklist here dated July 18th, 2024. Yeah, what about the salt?
What about the salt?
On first
We
reading.
can. We're not reading
Oh,
that.
both were,
Right.
both, okay. Okay, so yes, I have a checklist here dated July 18th, 2024, in the amount of $2,691,511.02.
Is there a second?
Second,
Roll call, please.
Ms. Verga,
yes.
Mr. Bruhn,
Yes.
Mr. Cortese.
Yes.
Ms. Kelly,
Yes.
and Mr. Wagner.
Yes.
Thank you.
We do have a need for an executive session, Nancy.
Be resolved by the Borough Council of the Borough of Morris Plains on the 18th day of July 2024, that prior to the conclusion of this regular meeting of the Mayor and Borough Council of the Borough of Morris Plains, which regular meeting has been opened to the public, the Mayor and Borough Council shall meet in executive session from which the public shall be excluded to discuss matters as permitted pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12, subsections 8. The time when the matters discussed pursuant to paragraph 1 hereof can be disclosed to the public is as soon as practicable after the final resolution of the aforesaid matters.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Sal, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, the ayes have it, we're going into an executive We will come back, I don't know when, you're welcome to stay, and we'll call you back when we're finished.